Hi, today I'm going to teach you how to make compost from the food waste. These are the vegetables, fruit peels from your kitchen. This is coffee powder, and there are fruit, vegetable peels. So all you need is some dry leaves. These are the dry leaves that I've collected. So now I'll teach you how to actually do this. Take your fruit peels. This is the khamba. It's from the daily dump, and it is a clay pot with aeration. You can see holes in it, and all you have to do is line it with some newspaper and then shove all your fruit peels into this, and your coffee grounds and your greens, onion peels, your carrot peels, potatoes, everything is going into it. And then add some dry leaves. So the wet waste is all the nitrogen part of the compost, and the dry leaves gives you the carbon component. Add enough dry leaves, give it a nice mix, and probably for the acceleration use some half done compost. This is half done compost. Put them out there so it will add the bacteria that it needs and the microorganisms that it will need for speeding up the compost. So just give it a mix, and then there you go. This is a large piece, so I'm breaking it down, and then just cover it with some dry leaves so that it doesn't attract too many insects and flies. And all you have to do is close the lid, and there you go. Leave it. Again, next morning you have to repeat the same process of turning it. It is aerobic composting, and it needs both air, something dry, and your wet waste. Now I'll tell you how I do vermicomposting with the same product. Now this is the compost that's a week old. The food has broken down, but it's partially broken down. So I have the worms in this bin, and on every 2 or 3 days I just give it. There's no heat in this pile. That pile will now, what I have done, by tomorrow, day after, it will create some heat, and the worms don't like heat. So what I do is, this is cool now, and then I just take some of it and put it on top of this, and then this is to feed for 2-3 days. So I'll show you how my worms are at the bottom of the pile. So this is the top layer. Now there's no food, it's all compost here. This is all worm casting. Then you can see the worms right below. There, see the worms? They're all waiting for fresh food to come in. They've already broken down all the food that was here into fantastic compost. You can see them. They are my red wrigglies. There they are. There are hundreds of them in my pot. Beautiful little creatures who are happy eating what I give them, and in turn they give me lovely compost. Look at this fat fellow. So now this is worm casting. In fact, this is a month old. This bin is a month old, and you can see them all. They have turned it all. This is moist, beautiful, lovely smelling compost here. So what I do is, need some more till the bin still has some space, so I put some more food, half done food. This is half broken down. The breakdown is not complete. There's still so much of food for it to eat. So I just fill the top, layer it like this. There's no heat in this pile. There's no heat here. It's already 1 week old, and then this is the food the worms will have for another 2 to 3 days. They have voracious appetite. They would come and finish all this. Then I just close it and leave it. This is done. This is done. So that's all. Now I go back and put this back in the kitchen. This is all the composting procedure. So this bin is the worm bin. This bin has food that is broken down a week back. So it's not fresh food, and there's fresh food in this. I just piled it and I have put dry leaves so that it doesn't try to move inside. So this is half done compost and this is half done compost. So if you have 3 pots, you can alternate it, and actually this gets empty every other day. And there are worms in the lower pots too. All the lower pots have worms. They get fed every second or third day.